let us remember that we are in the holy presence of God. I'm not sure about you, but I have been so thankful for just the sunshine the past couple days. I know today's a little bit cooler, but earlier this week we actually hit 50. And knowing that we have some 40s and some 50s in the days and the weeks ahead. And it just gives me, a sense of excitement knowing that spring is finally here after this really long winter, not to mention this winter of COVID. This upcoming Sunday's gospel is the Transfiguration, when Jesus goes up on top of the hill and he's transformed in front of his apostles and he turns dazzlingly white and the voice from the heavens cry out, "This is my son with whom I am well pleased." A lot of times it's a focus on God's glory and God's love and light and the coming of his grace into the world. But what's interesting about that passage is that it's sandwiched on either end about Jesus prophesying his own death and the passion and the suffering that he's going to have to endure. And as we move through this Lenten season, we are given the opportunity to join with God and to join with Christ on his road to the cross, aware that the sufferings that we may have to endure during this time, he shares with us. But through it all, we have this promise of glory. We have this promise of transportation. We have this promise of this light, this divine light, shining into our hearts and into our lives, bringing about transformation. That Jesus' transformation is a reminder that while we may have hardships and suffering in the short term, that God has the promise of transformation, that God gives us the promise of new hope, of new life, that we are, even during this time of Lent, still an Easter people. Live Jesus in our hearts forever.